All right, good morning, everyone. We heard a lot of good things. So I'm just going to get started by putting some numbers on what the retail market looks like. Globally, guess what? It's already at $6 trillion. Am I audible? All right. By next 4 years or 5 years, if I remember my data right, it's going to be about 10 to 12 trillion dollars. And we are at 6, by the way. And it's not a small number to deal with. India's e-com business is about $70 billion as per the stats that I read. Likely to be at about 340 in the next 5 years. From 70 to 340. So everybody said about e-commerce is going to grow, D2C brands are going to be around. Numbers are, surveys could vary. You may have a 340 becoming 300 or a 400, yada, yada. Yes, I will. I'll try to see. It's like the problem of losing your hair early is that the mic keeps slipping. So I'll try and keep it right there. So is it okay? Everybody can hear? All right, so good. So I'm just going to continue. So the numbers may vary, but a slice of that $340 billion is what you should aim for as entrepreneurs, clearly, right? If you're not going to be there, somebody is going to take it away, and it's not worth losing that, right? And $340 billion is a big number. Even $70 billion is a big number to start with. So now, if you really look at the way we are, yeah, there's a problem. All right, it's kind of drifting in and going out. So I'm going to use this. It's much better, I think. All right, so the entire thing about being a part of this is what I was talking about. Now, where do we come in? You've seen a lot of booths today outside that you will see a lot of generative AI, and a whole lot of things that people are talking about and how it can help you do the business better. Now, broadly speaking, AI is fairly pervasive. It's gone around. The traditional chatbots have changed to AI chatbots. You will see flavors of all of that outside. I'm here to talk about Flyfish. Flyfish is a part of Fractal Analytics. We've been around for 25 years doing something else, which is the analytics part. But then Flyfish is a homegrown generative AI search and generative AI-based advisory, which means that we do the chatbot, but in a generative AI mode. We do the multimodal search. Now, what is a multimodal search? When you look at technology today, the evolution of this is really it's beaten Moore's law many years back. So it's like whatever that you can imagine, double that, and you will still miss the bus. Right? So we are talking about image-based search. We are talking about a single search using any language of your choice. We are talking about text, and so on and so forth. Let me just give you some examples. 30% of the search today will look for image-based search. Now, let's look at somebody like Tanya. Tanya likes, she's a visual person. I search with images. So she says, I'm going to go to Pinterest or something alike, and I'm going to say, get me similar look. Now the question is, can your brand handle it? Can the search handle it? And we believe we can. And today we have commoditized technology to the extent that most of these things are available as a plug and play, which effectively means that you don't need to have 100 people search engine team. You just have to use a JavaScript on your existing platform, no rip and replace, just inject it and it's ready to go across. And then it enables all that. Let's look at another example. I'm always on the go, and I use voice to search. And when we say this, we were talking about Gen Z and Gen Millennials. Most of them use voice today, and there's enough data to show that if you're given a choice, and I keep getting prompt on my Tata's Play's website, why type when you can use voice, right? And that's just one example. Everybody's prompting you to do that. Let's look at what Ron does.
Hey, I am looking for some cool headphones.
Sure, here are some options for you.
And this is right out of your catalog. Let's look at Another one, Anita. She
क्या
likes
आपके
to,
पास कोई नाइट क्रीम है जो वाइट पैचेस के लिए अच्छी हो?
boom, it brings everything out of your catalog. Is this too much of a science? No. It's simple integration, inject the catalog, we do all that seamlessly. Once it's done, we just train and then it's good to go, right? And we also have something else which we do beyond search, which is advisory. A lot of you are familiar. Somebody said that he put his products on Myntra because it was a best thing that he could bring from a fashion perspective. Let's look at Soya again. Soya has got something that she's got a complex situation here. Got any ideas for simple necklace for my mom, looking for Mother's Day gift, and it's a blue color that she's talking about, and she's 60. Look at the kind of variables that's been put. 60, mother, Mother's Day, blue top, can you match it? And boom. So this is contextual search. This is not a semantic search or an index-based search that we are talking about, right? Let's look at some more example. How do these pieces fit in? If you really look at the features per se, the simple search bar can have the image-based search, text, voice, multilingual, yada, yada, that I talked about. What's most important to understand is how do you kind of make sure that the products are available in a search in a classical filter manner and also in an advisory space. We have templates for all that. People who want to transition from a multi-product website or they have a single product website and want to make sure that some of these products really come up the way that they would want that, those old problems of classic search is already solved, right? And it's, this adds on to that. Now let's look at some more stats. Visual searches are more important. 30% are visual and voice searches. 51% use voice search. And these are all fairly credible names that are there. So in the next 3 years, as much as brands will come and go or stay and grow, you will find that those who adopt technologies are more likely to have better conversions. I'm trying to solve the problem of what happens once you bring in a customer. And that's always the difficult part because you spend money on Google ads, Facebook, Insta, X, everywhere that's there, and you're hoping that once they come in, you would do a better job. And once they come in and search, what happens? Are you able to cater that and convert better? That's exactly the thing that we are trying to solve. Let's look at another thing that we do, which is basically a lot of people in the fashion industry says my catalog is not very descriptive. It doesn't do a great job or justice to what I have. How do we help that? We help curate your catalog for those who are in fashion. We do better description of attributes once you have the catalog, once we get the catalog. This is purely categorization of many things, and this doesn't restrict yourself to just fashion today. You can look at eyewear, round, feminine, rose gold, yada, yada. It picks up from the attributes that a picture can show. That's exactly how an image search works, by the way. It kind of takes the image, matches those attributes, extracts those attributes, and kind of matches it with what you have in the catalog, right? So this is exactly the same technology. It's just simplified now. Of course, we also help you do a little bit more on how you can see that search result, take the raw data and see what people are searching, make sense out of that, and finally kind of extract that to see, can I add these products because they were missing on search? And that's not something that we can solve, but you need to solve as an interpretation of data. What's coming in e-commerce? 16% of the Diwali sale this year was guided. Surprise, right? And this is from the larger platforms that I'm talking about. But those who own their own brand websites, you can be rest assured that that's going to be the trend. If somebody has used Maya on Myntra, I'm taking that as an example, or a Rufus on Amazon, or any of these other tools that are AI-based tools on these larger platforms, people are getting used to that. And then they will come back and look for similar experience in other D2C websites. And remember, there is a $100 billion market here. It's there to take, right? And people are building brands because of many reasons, right? Guided selling, how does that work? Imagine you are walking into a store and what the store guy will tell you in terms of what you want. And you simply say, looking for a bohemian chic look. That's like extreme, okay? Make it simple. I'm looking for a haldi evening, haldi party, and then the prompt will ask, is it a female or a male as a gender? And once you answer a few prompt questions, it'll give you a string of things that you could do. In this case, it's a very large brand which has got many things, so it's kind of put an ensemble together. But in reality, it could just be few products of your own choices for an event or a context, exactly like the Mother's Day thing. So the guided personal selling assistant is available 24/7 on your website, A. B, it helps you to convert better on the traffic. C, it enhances your search, right? And this is true for any of the e-commerce we have done that for banking for many years. So some of the largest private banks are our customers on the search. So we have a fair idea of what we are talking about when you stop and and that's a very governed market. I mean, e-commerce is fairly, gives a lot of leeway for a lot of creative things that you could do as founders, right? Let's look at what else does it do. Once I inject your catalog data on Flyfish, I put it on search, I extend it to the advisor, I can extend it to WhatsApp, I can extend it to social channels, all at one go, which means that your brand is quickly transformed from one experience in all channels throughout. So right now, most people will have a search bar which is run by somebody else, a chat which is run by somebody else, a WhatsApp business which is another vendor. So you bring that all together, put those hooks in place, good to go, right? And all this experience of providing customers with great knowledge on your product and constantly improving by a 360 at the back end with some analytics that we'll give you as a part of the product will help you to continuously improve. And like I showed, some of the fashion guys, the attributes can all be improved just by injecting the catalog and running a kind of a check on how it's doing, right? Gartner thinks, we launched this about a year back. The multimodal was just about hardly 2 quarters back. We had search prior to that with generative AI search, which is still running in many places. But the multimodal, Gartner thinks we are pretty cool and we are part of the hype cycle this year. Hopefully we'll continue to add value to all the brands that want to become super big, super great, and be a part of that $350, $400 billion market. And some of you will get there eventually in the sense that sooner than later, because that's the big idea of building a brand, gives you the pride, and obviously any brands which is stood test of time will have volumes in India which are phenomenally large. And to that, the only thing which is constantly challenging is the customers and what experience you provide to the customers. And that's exactly what we are here to solve. We have a booth right outside. It's called Flyfish, like anybody's guess. And we have my colleagues and myself will be available for you to have a chat anytime. So happy to do that. And that's the last one, basically leaving you with that thought. We are present in a few countries, and you can get in touch with us to have any discussion of your choice, or if you have questions around what LLMs, how do they work, and so on and so forth, happy to answer them. Thank you.